Elon Musk releases the Twitter files, showing behind-the-scenes censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop story. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. So, some people believe that social media platforms like Twitter should be moderating content to prevent the spread of disinformation, hate speech, and this charcuterie fad. Okay, maybe that last one is just me, but still, it needs to end. They're just the most pretentious way to give yourself kidney stones. But Twitter CEO Elon Musk, who heralds himself as a free speech absolutist, believes Twitter has gone too far with content moderation. Since taking over at the end of October, he's made a lot of changes. The latest includes revealing internal documents showing Twitter's censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop story. Quick background on that explosive laptop story, because October 2020 feels like 10 years ago. There had been previous questions over Hunter Biden's business dealings with a Ukrainian energy company, and whether Vice President Joe Biden pressured the Ukrainian president to fire a prosecutor who is going to expose corruption at that same energy company. The point is, if true, it would mean Joe Biden used his political office for personal family favors. Joe Biden had claimed that his actions had nothing to do with his son's business deal. He also said he never discussed business deals with his son. But then emails on the laptop showed that Hunter had actually introduced a Ukrainian businessman from that same energy company to his father. And, unrelated, the laptop also had photos and videos of Hunter smoking crack and having sex with prostitutes, which weirdly is not as bad as the first thing. The New York Post published the laptop story, but then Twitter censored all links to the story. Twitter's excuse was that they didn't want to promote hacked content. But in reality, Twitter employees may have feared the release of this material could make Joe Biden lose to Donald Trump in the upcoming election, which was only a month away. So now that Elon Musk is running Twitter, he's exposing this censorship in what's being called the Twitter files. It's thanks to help from investigative reporter Matt Taibbi, though they probably should have gone with a better name. Twitter files sounds like it would describe people who actually like using Twitter, and that's not a real thing. But the Twitter files, as Matt Taibbi put it, it is a Frankensteinian tale of a human-built mechanism grown out of the control of its designer. A Frankensteinian tale? So one where strangers can't wait to point out how you're wrong? Like how Frankenstein was the name of the doctor, not the monster, you idiot? Yep, that sounds just like Twitter. Perfect metaphor. The thread was hyped up by Musk to show how Twitter blocked the Hunter Biden laptop story. Musk also hyped up a part 2, but as of this recording, this hasn't been released yet. He's spending a lot of time hyping up a sequel that has no chance of outperforming the original. Are we talking about Elon Musk and Twitter or James Cameron and Avatar? That's all right. Part 1 is already doing its job of stoking a dumpster fire of drama. I'll get into that in a little bit. A lot of the details in the first set of documents aren't necessarily new, but they do provide a behind-the-scenes account of why Twitter censored the New York Post's Hunter Biden story. Back when the articles first came out, Twitter froze the New York Post's Twitter account for 16 days and blocked people from posting the URLs to its Hunter Biden article in posts and direct messages. Twitter justified this by saying that the articles included personal and private information, and that it could violate its hacked materials policy. Yet Twitter seemed perfectly okay letting people share pics of charcuterie boards, which are literally made up of hacked materials. Twitter claimed that it didn't want to incentivize hacking by allowing Twitter to be used as distribution for possibly illegally obtained materials. But this was justification made after the fact, when someone flagged the story as unsafe. The Twitter files cite one former employee saying they just freelanced it. Hacking was the excuse, but within a few hours, pretty much everyone realized that wasn't going to hold. But no one had the guts to reverse it. The screenshots of the emails show how uncertain Twitter was. Here you can see then U.S. Policy Communications Manager Trenton Kennedy struggling to understand the policy basis for marking the Hunter Biden story as unsafe, but thought the best argument would be that Twitter was waiting to understand if the story was the result of hacked materials. Former VP of Global Comms Brandon Borman asked if Twitter can truthfully claim that this is part of the hacking policy, to which some Twitter executives said yes. Twitter's then global head of trust and safety, Yoel Roth, asserted that the policy basis was hacked materials even though the facts remained unclear. He preferred erring on preventing the Hunter Biden story from being amplified. Yeah, because when someone innocent might be in danger of being exploited, Twitter takes it seriously. Except apparently when it's children. Twitter was totally okay with exploiting children. Meanwhile, Deputy General Counsel Jim Baker, the former FBI General Counsel in the Russia-Trump collusion investigations, said it is reasonable to assume that the Hunter Biden materials were hacked and that caution was warranted. He said this even while knowing that Twitter didn't have all the facts. In other words, they were totally okay with treating the Hunter Biden story as hacked materials unless proven otherwise. They made a bold assumption and assumed they were right without knowing all the facts. Sounds just like Twitter, all right? This was also done behind the back of then CEO Jack Dorsey, who publicly said that Twitter's decisions were unacceptable. Days before the Twitter files were released, even Twitter's former trust and safety chief, Yoel Roth, admitted that Twitter's censorship was a mistake. But this raised a lot of issues about free speech and how Twitter may have buried information ahead of an election. I'll tell you more after the break. Welcome back. Many are outraged with Twitter's censorship of the New York Post's Hunter Biden story, but for different reasons. Some reporters who lean left are saying the Twitter files controversy is just Matt Taibbi doing PR work for the world's richest man. Totally not scripted. Everyone definitely just came up with those same words on their own. The reason they're saying this is because of how Musk is collaborating with Taibbi to release documents, as opposed to Taibbi releasing documents on his own. They also point out how Taibbi isn't releasing all the information for other outlets and academics to look at. So instead of releasing it all at once, they're mad he's just giving it away bit by bit. They sound like me when I'm complaining about how Disney Plus shows only release episodes weekly, while Netflix drops the whole series at once. Why won't you let us binge? Musk made it clear that he doesn't think too highly of mainstream media outlets. He's even accused the New York Times of being an unregistered lobbying firm for far-left politicians. This is understandable. After all, the mainstream media botched the Hunter Biden story and typically leans left in support of Democrats. If you want to learn more about how the mainstream media screwed up, check out our previous episode on that. The link is below. Sorry, did I say episode? I meant episodes. The mainstream media has botched the Hunter Biden story more times than the X-Men movies botched the Dark Phoenix story. How hard is it to get this right? Now, on the political right and center, a lot of people are now saying, yeah, of course Twitter censored it, we told you so. According to the Twitter files, Representative Ro Khanna, a Democrat, emailed Twitter's then head of legal policy and trust, Vijaya Gad, about backlash concerning free speech. Gad responded explaining how Twitter had put out a thread explaining its policy. But Khanna emailed again citing concerns of a violation of the First Amendment principles for free speech that will invite more backlash than it will do good. Twitter also got a warning via an email from NetChoice, a research firm. The email shared details of a survey of Republicans and Democrats, the results of which warned of a bloodbath in upcoming congressional hearings. Years later, the threat of bloodbath still rings true. House Republicans, now taking control of the Judiciary Committee, promised to investigate Gad for her role in Twitter censorship. Many are revved up to pursue the link between big tech and Democratic Party collusion. After all, it's well known that Twitter heavily leans left in support of Democrats. I mean, why do you think the Twitter bird is blue? Think about it. Also, in the last several elections, Twitter employees contributed heavily to Democratic candidates, more than 10 times the amount they gave to Republicans. Now, the Twitter files don't show concrete evidence of Democratic Party collaboration with Twitter, but many are pointing to how the Biden campaign team requested Twitter remove several tweets, and they obliged. Elon Musk suggests this is a case of the government giving orders to violate the First Amendment. Now, to be clear, Biden was only a candidate at the time, and the Democratic Party making the request isn't the same as the government making requests. On top of that, a lot of the links that the Democrats requested to be removed were Hunter Biden porn. Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn?
Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn?
Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn? Matt, can you confirm that they're Hunter Biden porn Well, I guess that confirms it. Thanks, Matt. Also, the Trump campaign made requests for Twitter to remove tweets, which they did. Although, according to Matt Taibbi, the system was skewed in favor of Democrats. Now, some say all this attention on Hunter Biden is just a fixation on the president's son's junk. Others say the issue is just about nude photos and videos shown without consent, and so Twitter is just exercising its right to moderate by removing them. After all, there's no constitutional right to post dick pics. Even though I'm sure a lot of frat bros are petitioning to make that the 69th Amendment. But Hunter Biden's junk isn't the issue. The issue is Twitter censored unpleasant but true stories about a presidential candidate's son right before an election. The fact that the Twitter files don't claim that the government was involved in the laptop story actually makes Twitter look even worse. Because that means Twitter took the initiative to block the Hunter Biden story. No one made them do it. This makes Twitter open to accusations of political bias, especially when Twitter's former executive, Yoel Roth, admits that he doesn't like right-leaning figures like the Babylon Bee and libs of TikTok, and that he stands by policies prohibiting misgendering, because he won't stand for any type of abuse on the platform, unless the victims are children. So what do you think about the Twitter files? Leave your comments below. And if you like this show, remember that we rely mainly on direct support from viewers like you. All it takes is as little as $1 per episode over on our crowdfunding website, Patreon. Visit patreon.com/AmericaUncovered for more. Click the link below. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching America Uncovered.